What's going on, guys? It's Scott Hebert again. This video today is about the Black community and depression. It's something that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's something that's very important. In this video, I want to give a few facts on why the Black community does not speak about depression. One of the things with the Black community is stigma. Stigma is a big problem in our community, and what it is that we often believe that as a community that you go to faith, go to God, go to your community for help, but sometimes you may need medical attention. A lot of people in our community look at talking to someone about your problems is considered a waste of time. They think it's, people getting in your head. A lot of people say stop being a weak person and keep it moving. That doesn't work for everyone. Another thing is a lack of knowledge. In our community, they believe that if you go seek for help, it's like you're crazy. And no one wants to be looked at like that in their social circle. So that's another big reason why our community does not seek medical help. Another issue in our community is trust. Less than 2% of American Psychological Association consists of Black members. Some of us worry about if they're competent with things that go on in our Black community. And there's been a lot of reports where Blacks that went seek help felt like there was some type of racism or microaggression from the therapist. There's nothing wrong with seeking medical attention. There's nothing wrong with seeking medical help from a professional. If you feel something, you need to say something. Another study that may seem a little older, but it's from 2013, shows that the death rate of suicide for Black men was 4 times that of Black women. Check out this video. It's a small video of James Ray and I, one of my best friends, discussing in the car, just a normal car ride, about being Black and being depressed. Both of us are Black males that have been through depression. I hope this video helps someone out in any type of way possible. Yeah, we're here with Ray, James Ray, Louisville, Kentucky. Best friend, ain't seen each other for like 3 years though, so we decided to come out, visit, just hang out in Houston. And anyway, we reconnected recently over some BS. We'll talk about that later. And so, but anyway, the reconnection was great. And one of the things we both found out was one thing I found out from him, I guess we both found out.
Yeah, through conversation.
Through conversations that he was telling me last year he went through some stuff and started having, he told me issue about depression. And myself too, I had a lot of depression last year. I kind of told you guys about it, but Ray was the one that kind of, because he had moved forward in it more than me. He had even told me about seeking therapy and things like that, and how taboo it was for the Black community and all these things. But he encouraged me to go. Next, I did, and it helped. Like, it was a trip. And so just a quick discussion on depression in the Black community, our perspective. Remember that, our perspective on it. But yeah, Ray, what do you think about that?
I mean, basically just through going through therapy, I just realized that it's very taboo in the Black community, just because we're taught, especially as Black men, to be strong, show no emotion, never let them see you sweat. Another thing too, you go back, even before like civil rights time, us as Black people, we don't want somebody playing around in our brain, playing around with our mind, knowing our innermost dark, thoughts or whatever. So it's just one of those things that, you add those together within the Black community. It's just really looked frowned upon, and nobody ever even thinks of therapy as an option to go seek, unbiased feedback versus like, a friend, a family member, or anything. Because you gotta think, if you go to a friend or somebody more than likely they're gonna be biased in whatever they tell you, just because a lot of times they team you. And it's just good to go to somebody who's actually trained in being able to, like I said, be very unbiased. And so just gonna records, thank you. Who's just unbiased, and whatever you talk about, they're gonna be able to give you a perspective that you may not have even thought existed, and just help not tell you what to do, but help get you on the path to thinking differently, and just rewiring your brain to be able to handle a lot of the things that come your way. I mean, therapy for me is, and I still go today, it's just a mode of being able to just, decompress and let out my thoughts. It can be from work, something that happened that day, or, stuff that I've that I've kept in since, you know, I was a little kid. So to be able to start letting go, I mean, it's been a beautiful thing. You know, I've learned forgiveness. That's one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I think not even forgiveness for others, but forgiveness for myself, and the art of letting go. Man, that's powerful, because once you let something go, it doesn't have power over you anymore, and you literally feel not only a mental weight, but you feel like it's like a physical weight that comes off of that experience. So, you know, therapy's helped me a lot, man, just to be able to just become more emotionally sound, and just be able to just really unlock, you know, the beautiful power that God gave me to be able to just navigate through this world the best I can. So that's just a small glimpse of my experience with it.
Did you actually tell anybody? I mean, we ain't on the interview, like we're just talking.
Yeah.
Did you actually tell anybody, like your mom or anybody else, that you wanted to seek therapy, or
Yeah.
somebody? Well, you were dating a therapist. That was the interesting part of it.
Yeah, for the longest, I didn't even want to do it, you know, but finally, you know, she saw just a lot of the tolls that were being taken on me mentally, and I finally just broke down and was like, I'll give it a try.
Your mom?
Nah, my ex-girlfriend. And when I told my mom, sorry, mom, my mama thought I was crazy. But that just actually reinforced.
Did you tell her? She was like, "You crazy?
Don't be letting nobody mess with your head."
Oh, so she was one of the first.
Like, you know,
She only doing what she thought was to protect you.
Exactly, and that's why, and I get it now. That's why I said, like, in the black community, it's just something we don't do, you know. But now that when I mention I'm going to therapy, it's nothing, because she sees the results. She sees, like, man,
Oh, she is on board now?
Yeah, you know, and she sees I'm in the happiest space that I've been, man, who knows, in a long time. You know, I think the biggest turn for me was when I lost my grandmother back in 2011. So, and I already kept stuff in then, and then I just kept stuff in even more.
Well, what got you to that point to where you felt like you were depressed? When did you realize? Some people don't even realize they're in depression. You know, they just like
dating a therapist. You will feelings will be brought up, things will be brought up, and a lot of times for the longest I avoided it. I didn't want to talk about it. Like, nah, why we gotta talk about that? I'm good. Nah, I'm good. You know, and you don't realize, man, when you bury stuff, especially like things that happen to you or your feelings, when you bury that stuff, it doesn't go away. It just digs deeper and deeper, and finally you hit the very bottom of the pit. You ain't got no room to add any more stuff, so it's gonna boil out one way or another. You know, and I just got tired.
Like dating a therapist, she would be picking in your head all the time?
I would say picking in my head, but man, it did help kind of open my third eye to myself and just make me more self-aware. And you know, I'm forever grateful for that, man, because I feel like therapy like truly saved my life. And not in the sense that, oh my God, I was about to die or do something crazy or anything, but as far as like, man, really helping get me back on track, because the potential was always there, you know, and I still feel like I have a very far road to go, but it just really helped get me on a path, man. Like my biggest thing that I'm on right now is, you know, self-love, self-growth, you know, like I said, forgiveness, internally and externally, and just really walking the best path meant for James, you know, learning to like be really okay with the skin that I'm in, and just really, you know, self-care. And when you really like start to take care of yourself and love yourself, it's like everything else just falls into place organically versus trying to force anything. And so that's really where I am right now.
A lot of people, I noticed, I heard a lot of people talk about, like, you know, I'm open about probably too many things we talk about, but a lot of people are scared of things they don't know, right?
Right.
So what happened was with the therapy, like my first time going, I was open to go, but I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous because I'm like, I don't even know this person.
Nah,
how am I about to tell them my business? I don't know this person, and then how much? And I'm like, nah, I mean, I ain't gonna tell them everything, you know?
Nah, I get it.
You start thinking all this stupid stuff, but I mean, in your experience, we're heading to the airport, so you know I'm trying to get them through this. But in your experience, like, what was that experience the first time, or you know, walking up to that building? Like, give us like a run through.
Man, what I did learn too, man, it's all about finding the right therapist. Because I went to a therapist before my current therapist, and it just, the vibe wasn't there. It felt forced. It felt like on some like sit down on the couch, let me just ask you questions and do this activity, and it didn't really do anything for me. So after the first time, for a little bit, I'm like, I mean, I tried it. It wasn't for me, but I just still felt that, man, there has to be more that I can do. It can't be the end all
How many times
be
you went
all.
to that person?
How
many times you went to that person?
One time.
You knew it was not.
Yeah,
working.
I mean, but then my current therapist, man, we sat down. It was just like a conversation. Every time we sit down, it's a conversation. It's very fluid, and it's just a great time. It's been many times where our sessions have like went over, the hour that it was supposed to, and
You don't mind her?
nah, he don't mind, and he's just a very empathetic therapist who's able to connect with people, and through that ability to be able to connect the way he does, it just really has helped me open up a lot. And
did he send you like some trigger words or something that made you start speaking, or you just
ain't no tricks to it, man.
So he literally started talking to you.
Yeah, there's
like, what's up, James?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Literally, we can talk about anything. That's what the time is, to be able to sit there and decompress your brain, whatever's on your brain. And man, I think everybody should at least look into it, even if they don't go. Just research more on therapy and just the benefits that it can really bring to somebody's life. So
your therapist is a white gay man. Like that's amazing. But
yeah.
I mean, being open like that, like you just don't know that works with you. You never would have thought that would be something that works.
Well, and what's cool is I look at it as cool because one, like I said, I don't discriminate against anyone's life choice. But with his preference, he's understood discrimination. So as a black man, in America, we understand discrimination. So it's like, even though he might not understand what it means to be a black man, he does understand what it is to be discriminated against. So whenever I talk about something that involves the black community, he's able to align with it in some sort of sense. Like,
in a way that works with you very well.
You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, and he's just a good dude, man. He's just a cool dude, and like I said, when I'm in there, I'm able to just talk about everything, and there's no judgment.
And y'all text each other and keep up with you, everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's cool.
What time did we went to? Wait, United, you said?
Yeah, United. But yeah, man, like I said, like the very first therapist I went to, I definitely don't think it would be anything like that where I can text and be like, if I'm going through something, I can be like, man, I'm having a rough moment, and they can give me, just some good words or anything like that.
Check real fast. What time was it?
It don't tell us. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Give me nothing.
What gate?
Gate B80.
Okay, B. They separated in terms here, A, B, C, D.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't. Yeah.
Okay.
But
You're the first one to ever had that type of relationship with?
Yeah, just the vibe wouldn't have been there. I could just tell based on that first interaction. But,
now, what do you think continuing on with therapy, like moving forward, like what is that going to bring you? What are you looking for, like moving forward? Because you've already been through, you're stronger, all this other stuff, but
I mean,
how long do you think you should do it until you reach the goal? Is there a goal?
I mean, just whenever anyone feels like them, I guess they don't need to go. But I mean, the way you continue, you stay. You know what I'm saying? You keep the work going as you do work every day. Like me, man, I made like a list of my daily mind goals. You know what I'm saying? That I'm trying to implement to continue to just sharpen my brain. From trying to read like 25 pages a day to doing something kind randomly for anyone, whether it be a gesture or
you have that
nice
man.
words.
I mean, you talked to that guy at the store the other day.
Yeah, like we was in Kroger's and the gentleman just kind of, started some conversation with him. Then we walked away and I walked back and just had a friendly conversation with him. Not knowing the power of that. That might have changed that dude's day. I don't know, but it just made me feel great. So I'm just trying to do things that's going to make me feel great and just keep my mind moving in a positive direction. So it's continual work. It's not just going one day a week, 1 hour a week, speaking to someone and then boom, you're better. Nah, it's work. Just like going to the gym physically and building that strength, your mind, is a muscle to be built upon as well. So you got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? You got to continue trying to work hard to, improve your mental health every day. And it's just powerful that once you improve your mental health, you just see how everything else falls in place. So
Power of no.
So, But as far as quitting, I don't know. You know, like I said, it'll the duration will dwindle down maybe like once a month, once every other month, just to catch in,
You doing
catch
once a
up.
week right now?
Yeah, I do once a week. You know, just an hour after work, middle of the week, and it's good, man. It's like a middle of the week decompression. It's dope. So, but now I think everybody should look into it. You know, even if they don't do it, they got plenty of books out there. They got plenty of research out there, plenty of videos, man, just to kind of rewire your brain and give any type of assistance on trying to get through whatever. Because the thing is, we all go through stuff, you know, and ain't no point in holding that stuff in. That stuff, if you hold in all the negative, man, it's a cancer. It will literally eat you alive. It will eat you alive, and that ain't good for none of us, man. You know, we put on God's earth, man, to be happy, be as happy as we can, and a lot of times it is hard, but we can reach that happiness, man, through working in a great support system.
It starts with helping yourself.
Yeah, you gotta seek it out, man. But some people don't know how, man. So that's why I'm like, you know, if this video helps one person to get one person to think about it, man, that's a blessing.
Yeah, that's true. People just don't know.
Like I said, I denied it for the longest. So.
People just down each other about it. That's the other part.
Yep,
Well,
we gotta be open. We gotta be open.
James Ray, you about to head out?
Yeah, brother. Hey,
What's
bro.
on your flight?
It starts boarding. And,
Like right now?
9:21 we start boarding, so I still got some time. I got an hour. You know what I'm saying? So get in here and
It's a big airport, though.
Arkansas. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, basically, he said don't be scared. That's
Nah.
like the biggest thing. Don't be scared. If you're feeling something, you're feeling some type of way, you can't find answers.
Talk
you
to
feel
somebody.
Stuck, talk to somebody.
That's what they out there for.
Yeah.
You know,
Somebody.
we got people who will serve us food. We got people out there who will open our doors, wash our cars. We got people that'll help us for anything. So even, you know, if it's to just talk through some stuff, man, just try it out one time. You might enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So might help you. You know. So
Yeah, for just we got a minute.
yeah.
But on my end, I didn't realize I'm like the most positive. I thought I was the most positive person on the planet. I'm always a chipper, I guess that's what you call it. But I was just bleeding positivity and spoken to people and everything else. But it's crazy that you can sit there and speak it all day. But what happened was I started feeling down. You know, it was right after my last big fashion show. There's just a lot of stuff going on with it, and I just started feeling this. I started feeling like I didn't want to do nothing. Like I didn't know what it was, and I'm a person that's always doing something.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing something. I don't feel like doing it. And to realize, like, the days got longer where I was like, I don't want to do anything all day. Then I don't want to do anything all week. Then I realized I started watching, episodes on Netflix, like just staring at the TV. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, I didn't know. I was just felt like I was in this space,
it was a glaze.
This glaze.
Yeah,
and then I looked back and like a month passed. People were calling me, and then I missed the phone calls from some people. And then I realized I would, they call like another day, and then the anxiety kicks in. Like, oh man, it's been like 3 days they calling, and I don't know what they're calling for. And I started thinking like, man, they mad at me now. Like, I was thinking,
all this pressure on yourself, man.
I was beating myself up just by not answering a phone call, and then it just got deeper to where I'd be like, well, I can't call them,
Right.
Now they gonna hate me. Then sometimes it'd be clients, man.
Like self-loathing, self-doubt, self-criticism. Those are 3 demons.
But you do them all by yourself.
Those are 3 very strong demons.
You
see how they crept in there?
They did, and in my head I'm like, how did they even get in there? And I tried to kind of like cover it up by getting a dog. Like I was like, oh man, I need a happy something.
Yeah.
Something to keep my mom away. I went to get a dog, and it was just like, the dog was cool, but then I'm walking like downtown Houston with me and my dog, like with no path. Like, dude, you know me. Like, when in the world do I go anywhere and just have like this aimless lifestyle, And then I was like, I'll just quit working, And then, like, say, a couple days, and it become a couple months. Then it be, months. And you're like, so anyway, so even my family was calling me, and I just wasn't answering them phone calls or just being whatever, watching TV, depressed, eating ice cream. I don't want to say it was that bad, but it It was bad.
Right.
But it crept up on me in a way that I had never, like, I didn't even know what it was. Just knew that I didn't want to do anything.
Right.
And then I noticed everybody was complaining. I wouldn't give people their images. I wasn't working. I literally quit shooting.
Yeah, it's not a good feeling when
then it got even worse.
It cripples you like that.
Yeah, then it started affecting my finances at home. Bills started piling up, and I just didn't even know how to deal. It's like I couldn't even deal with them.
Right.
Dude, how do you get to that point? Like, I don't even know where that came from. But anyway, I'm just saying it. But like, everybody takes their experiences differently.
Right.
You know, we talked before. Yours is from some years of stuff that happened moving forward, like accumulated. And I guess mine were accumulated just in a different way, and it didn't. It wasn't like years really. It was just like this moment crept on me. It just literally took me over.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, once I started losing stuff, like my whole little life went upside down, man. I just, like I said, I hollowed down to like just this, just me. Like, it just became me in my little bowl, my little world. And my little world was screwy, and I didn't like it either. But I didn't know where to go, didn't know how to look up, didn't know how to look down. Scared of everything. I was worried about somebody walking in my house. Like, I was tripping. But anyway, whenever me and this guy spoke, I decided to go seek somebody. And I actually was talking to another friend of mine. And I said, you know what, I'm going to go seek somebody. And she said, I got this person you need to go to. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, the girl I'm talking about that told me this, I know her very well. I've known her for longer than like 20 years.
Right.
And I know how she thinks. I'm like, okay, let me see what she's talking about. Because I ain't had no now. I would have been in the Yellow Pages.
Right.
Yellow Pages, bro. Did I just say that?
Yeah,
I'm old.
We still got the Yellow Pages.
But anyway.
Yellowpages.com.
Right, clearly. And then, then finally I said, okay, I'm going to, she told me this person, and I said, okay, I'll do it. And then I called the person was like $80-something. I was like, oh. And literally, I could not afford anything at this moment because my life had just went
insurance
down.
Helps, man. Insurance
and
helps.
She, well, dude, it wasn't insurance. She did. She was like, it's cool, Scott. Don't worry about it. The girl that told me about it, she said, I'll pay for your first session. Did I tell you that?
Nah, but that's dope.
She said, I'll pay for it. She said, because this is a good friend, a very good friend. And I said, oh, man, shoot, I can't get out of this one. You know what I mean? I was like,
right.
I'll do it.
So you got to go do the work.
Yep. So I went for that hour, and I was kind of skeptical. But I was open. I said, at that point, I'm very self-aware. At that point, my awareness started kicking in. Like, dude, you gotta get out of this funk. This is not you.
Right.
And so I went to that session, not knowing what I was gonna get, and really, we just spoke. She was really, really nice lady. We was about the same age. I was kind of poking at her though. I was like, so you got kids?
Right.
You know me. I'm like looking back.
You as the subject.
It wasn't even that I was avoiding. I was just like, how can I tell you? And I literally told her, how can I tell you anything when I know nothing about you? And she was like, she laughed. And she talked a little bit there. She flipped it back on. She said, remember, this is for you. It's for helping you. Don't spend your hour.
Exactly. That's
helping,
what I'm saying.
You're helping me here. I was like, okay. So anyway, we talked. And I really still was really skeptical. And then, dude, it went to like the last 15 minutes.
So
maybe 10 minutes.
It hit you.
She took all my conversation and it's like, okay. And she helped me in the most realest way, man. She used what basic information, because she was like, she basically just told me that from what she got, my life was unbalanced. And I was like, what do you mean unbalanced? Because again, when you in it, you don't realize what's going on. And she just basically separated the whole thing, talking about you live in this mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, soul. We've heard that everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, mind, body, soul. Okay, so but not only did she say that, she went down and broke down with each one of them. She was like, in the mind, if these things are unbalanced, like it doesn't, you don't work in a functionality, like the right function. Like you have to do them together is what it is. She was like, mind, like what are you feeding your mind, Scott? What are you letting into your mind? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you spending your time doing? Mentally taking in. And she was like, that has to be there. She said, so are you into, watching demonic movies? Like, are you doing this? Are you reading good books or self-help? Right. And I realized, man, no, I was really just like not reading anything. I was never putting nothing in my mind, but junk, TV. And then she said, Scott, and also body. She was like, have you been working out or keeping up with yourself or eating right? I was like, no. She goes, that's the other part. Body is a big part. Eat right, eat healthy. She made it so she's like, don't, you don't have to go all in, but start cleaning up the way you eat. Start working out of it. Get more physical, helping your body get to a place. Because when you feel better physically, how you look and things like that, it helps the other part.
But when you work out, your body releases endorphins. Your mind releases endorphins, which endorphins are a feel-good drug. It's a natural feel-good drug. So based off of just doing like 30, 45 minutes of physical activity, your body's released endorphins, and that can last for 12 hours, up to 12 hours. And you're like, man, why I feel so good? Anybody who works out, after they work out, they feel great.
Yeah, no, it does. It really has helped out. And eating healthier. And then the other thing she added was soul, spirit. She said, have you been connecting to a higher power? She was like, she asked me about, do I go to church or anything else? And I realized that I had kind of backed off that too, off my, or even like prayer, whatever it was where it connects you spiritually. And I realized I had backed off of it a nice bit. And I said, you're right. And she said, whatever it takes. She's like, even if I told her, I went to church and things like that. She said, well, why don't you go to church this month? Why don't you, just start making a little consistent your path, or start praying, or meditating. Get yourself to a place spiritually as well. And I'm like, man, you're right. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I am unbalanced in that. I wasn't eating correctly. I wasn't putting the right stuff in my head. Right. And I wasn't going to church or church or higher power, whatever it takes. I wasn't connecting spiritually to nothing. And that's how I was living, man. And so for me, therapy, it caught on me like this. And soon as I started putting those things together, within the day, the next day I was just like, change. It's like everything started working better. Like everything started functioning in a better orbit. I started like looking at things perspective, like, okay, I got to work on my mind, my body, and my spirit. And when I did those, focus on those little things, everything for me just started lining up.
Nah, no doubt. We really do have control
over
how we can tackle the day. So either you can tackle it in a negative manner and go down that tunnel, or you can tackle it and try to be as positive, as happy as possible. So it's really a choice. And every day I just try to choose to, live in the best light possible, do the right thing best I can, and just, reap those benefits of doing that. So
yeah, that's crazy.
My man,
that therapy stuff
it's good, man. I think everybody should at least just look into it. Just be open-minded to it. That's all.
Yeah, and like I said, there's different types, man. Like I said, he's taking from one angle. Me, it only took me a couple sessions, and I was like, I'm ready to hit the battle out. And then literally, like, open another business, working on this. My mind just like, let me just following a few steps. But you know what? I wouldn't learn that. I wouldn't have. It's something I've seen every day, man.
Right.
Mind, body, soul. You've seen that on posters, you've seen it on memes, you've seen it on social media. But just not knowing what it means specifically. Some of your answers are right there in front of you. You just don't know how to look at them. That's what therapy, I think, helps out.
No
your
doubt.
answers are right there.
Your most important is your mental. Your physical can be great. Your spirit can be great. But if your brain ain't ready, if your brain ain't great, your spirit's not going to be good. I think the mental is at the top of the pyramid. So I really do, man. Because you can have everything going for you, but if your mind, if your aura stink, everything else.
Well, the other ones really support that.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
it's at the top of the pyramid, and the others are just
strong support.
Yeah.
Because without them, you're still imbalanced. You gotta balance them.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. And like I said, I keep trying. Like I said.
Keep
in the gym,
up,
trying to clean up.
Work. Yeah,
and I told you, a work in progress. You don't have to literally be this beast.
Don't strive for
guru overnight.
You gotta strive for perfection, man. Just strive for progress. Progress is a beautiful thing.
So. And just remember that success and that is a journey, it's not a destination.
My man.
So just keep moving forward, one step at a time. Like just move forward.
All day.
That's crazy. I heard this guy. Off the record, kind of. I heard this guy at a luncheon the other day. You say I go to lunches. I did go to lunches.
You do go to lunches. You're like an old woman.
Whatever. But he was talking about, I guess, military stuff. He He's talking about they were trying to get him from one destination to the next. Like he was like trying to be a SEAL or something, Navy. I forget what it was. And he was like, the guy told him he needed to take this water and walk it all the way to this thing. It was like this 150-pound bag. And then he told him, man, I can't make it, man. I can't make it. I don't know what to do because he kept looking over there. The sergeant told him, he said, look, this is what we can do. Take that bottle. Just lean forward just a little bit. And I want you to focus on each step. Just take one step and I guarantee you make it. Just focus on putting that foot down every single time. One step. Just lean a little forward. Just a little bit. And he said he cried his little butt away to make that happen. He said, but you know what? That's what he did. He said he didn't even look back down that path. What he did is he focused on each step. He knew the goal, but he knew he had to take each step at a time with a little lean.
That's pretty powerful.
And that's what he did.
Each step, one step at a time.
Quit looking at the end goal. Yeah, focus on it.
One step at a time.
One step. They're going to hurt. Each one of them hurt. But if you just keep pushing that one,
one piece of the journey. Yeah.
We hear that all the time, but it's just like, nothing wrong hearing it again. Man.
No, that's real. No, that's
reiterating what that is.
That's dope.
So look at that. Still
got
shot
it
a
in.
video.
Still got it in, bro.
All right.
My nigga. Love you, brother, man.
Love you too, man. Walk in, get this.